You've been very remorseful. You've had a lot of people in your corner. But just where are you right now, and what are your plans?
Well, the thing is with it. All right, when I made that slip on air, I mean, you could see anybody that saw the clip. I mean, you could see my face just go white because it was an obvious, honest mistake. I was just like, as a joke, reading a song lyric. There was no malicious intent, and I panicked after it happened. I mean, for the couple hours after, I was definitely super shook. But a few hours later, Monday afternoon, I started calming down. And as it broke the next couple days, like Tuesday, I thought I was going to get suspended for like a month. And I was like, okay, obviously I get it. And then Wednesday, it came out like that, Dave Portnoy and Big Cat and Erika all super had my back at Barstool because obviously anybody with the brain realizes there was no malicious intent. Anybody that knows me knows that. And then, but Penn Gaming bought Barstool in 2020, and so it's a lot more corporate now. And look, obviously I disagree with the decision they made, but I did put them in a bad spot, and that's their prerogative. They're running, a $1 billion business, and it is what it is. But life's a funny thing. I kind of feel like I live on my own planet in my brain, and it's all just how you react to it. And I'm not going to sit around playing the victim and sitting at home and being depressed. I'm going to get on with my life, and that's exactly what I've done. I joked, if you're going to get fired, do it during Jazz Fest in New Orleans. Couldn't be a better week for it, and went out and really enjoyed that from Wednesday to Sunday. And then I've actually been in the Carolinas the last 2 weeks. I made a run at the World Series of Poker Cherokee. The beauty is poker's always there when I'm not employed. So, but I got 78th in the World Series of Poker Cherokee main event for like almost $3,900, and went and saw some family and friends in the Highlands, went to the beach in Charleston, saw some people in Greenville, and on my way back to the Southeast, I'm here. And what's been interesting about this, I mean, there's been a lot, but the public thing has broke my way. And that was the thing after it happened. I'm like, man, I know people know me, that I'm not, a malicious guy and all that, but I thought I'd be too hot, maybe too hot to touch after it for a while. And it's not been that way at all. I think people are overwhelmingly sympathetic because, you'd like to think there's still some grace in this world. It wasn't, it was just an honest mistake. And
for those that don't remember what happened, you were rapping.
Bone Thugs, Wake Up. So it was May 1st, and my show is Wake Up Mintzy. So I thought as a joke, I'd rap Wake Up as the first of the month. And I was reading it off my song lyrics, and I slipped on a lyric real quick.
It's a great song too. Yeah. They were in town recently.
But despite my my appearance, other than country music, my second favorite genre is 90s rap.
Oh yeah.
So it's easy to get caught up in the lyrics, but you understood you made a mistake.
Oh, I instantly I instantly knew it. I instantly snap apologized. I instantly got on Twitter and said I'm ashamed of myself. I slipped. I made a mistake.
But you're sort of a newcomer, or were a newcomer at Barstool.
Yeah, about 2.5 years in.
The fact that they were defending you so strongly had to make you feel good
inside.
No doubt.
And the thing is I left Barstool with just total support from Barstool. Dave Portnoy, Big Cat, Erika Nardini, our CEO. When she FaceTimed me on the Wednesday letting me know I was getting let go, she was like crying, all but crying. She was so upset. She's like, I fought Penn for 24 hours for you, and I didn't win, and I'm so sorry. But like I said, I think it's all perspective. I've been fired before. I got let go in Bossier City before COVID, and I guarantee you I didn't have the offers and options then that I have now, And so it's not something I've never dealt with. It's been interesting being out in public, because I was out at Jazz Fest and very visible the last few weeks playing World Series of Poker, and people are walking up to me like, sorry, like I'm dead. I'm like, I'm not dead. I got fired. I lost a job. There's going to be another job soon, and life's going to go on. And I think it's just all how you deal with it. I'm excited about the future. I have plenty of opportunities, and hey, I'm getting to go out to Vegas and play the World Series of Poker and work this summer. I feel like it's like I'm in high school or college going to summer camp.
We feel like we're at summer camp. What we do is not really work. We come in and we enjoy ourselves, but ultimately the goal is one day, hopefully somebody will sweep in and buy us. And once you do that, you lose control because the Barstool Method, the thought process is anti-cancel culture.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the biggest irony in this whole thing because I know Dave and Big Cat fought for you because it goes against everything they believe in.
Yeah, that was the ironic part of it. And the other ironic part of it is you think about the history of Barstool. I would think I'm one of the least controversial people that's been there. I don't, on purpose, I hold back my language on air. I try to be above board all the time. And, the week before, I'd raised like 50 grand for families fighting child cancer on the Yak when I ran that 57-41 10K. And everybody saw all that, And so, I thought that kind of, and I think that's actually worked publicly, and that people have seen all that and seen, because Barstool is so, every detail of your life is out there on social media. And I think people that have gotten to know me the last 2.5 years, I'm getting the benefit of the doubt just through what they've seen.
I try not to divide the country, but I mean, you're a white guy from the South.
Mm-hmm.
You think that played anything into it? I mean, you're an Ole Miss guy.
Yeah, so I thought that, so I'll be honest, that was what made me, so when after the incident happened, I was panicking because I'm so conscious of, I try so hard to represent Ole Miss well. And, I'm very conscious of that. I have a great relationship with school, the athletic department, everything. I mean, Lane Kiffin, and the last thing I would ever want to do is embarrass Ole Miss. And that was part of what, in a weird way, as bad as it was for me, I wasn't as worried about me. I was more worried about Ole Miss and my family that have to deal with the fallout of it. But I've gotten total, everybody from Oxford and Ole Miss, I've gotten, I haven't heard anything negative from there at all. And then as far as my mom and sister and family has all been super supportive. I mean, I think anybody that knows me had just made a very stupid but honest mistake. And, I think people get that.
I mean, I give you a lot of props for how you've handled it. Again, talking at dinner last night, you said, look, I never was going to play victim. I've been able to hold my head high. I told you I probably would be really, really bitter. I think a lot of people would. Dunaway, I would assume you would be bitter if you were fired. I mean,
I'm a mental weakness. There's a good chance I would still be in a dark place with my blinds pulled down, crying in the fetal position.
Well, I mean, especially when you get your dream job. I mean, that was your dream job.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, the thing was, I wasn't a big stoolie before, and so when I got hired by Barstool, it was I followed Dave and Big Cat. But it was funny because everybody was freaking out when I got hired by Barstool, and I just knew it was a big deal, but I wasn't a big Barstool fan. And I think that actually helped me adjust to where I was never nervous because I hadn't built it up in my head so much. But yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, see, that's my problem is that you grew to be my 12th favorite Barstool character. And I hate losing somebody in my top 15 like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think life's a funny thing. It's just all how you deal with it. And I think, people laugh at me when I say this. I call it mental gymnastics is the stuff I do. I mean, I feel like I'll try to spin anything that's horrible and negative. I'll find some way to put it in a positive light in my brain. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And, it was one funny benefit to this was I was on the Most Dangerous Game show in Colorado for a week. I was supposed to be on it, and it sounded like living hell. You were freezing out in the woods and the mountains for 5 days, doing all kinds of crazy stuff and I got out of that. At least I got to go to Jazz Fest instead. So that part of it made me happy. But in general, I think it's just all how you look at stuff. And, I'm very lucky. I mean, this is so different from when I got fired before COVID. I had some contacts in Louisiana then in 2020, but nothing like I have now. I mean, I had 3,200 Twitter followers when I got hired by Barstool, and I have 122,000 now. And so when I got hired by Barstool in my head, I was thinking, nothing lasts forever. I was thinking I'll probably be there 3 to 5 years. Hopefully I'll build up a really big following, and then I'll have a lot of options. Obviously, I didn't quite make it 3 to 5 years, but it seemed like I built up a big following, and now I have options. So it seems like a success when you look at it in that picture.
I'm a third chance guy. I mean, everybody, you talked about grace. We all make mistakes. I've got this feeling one day you will end up back at Barstool.
Well, look, the thing on that is Big Cat, Dave Portnoy, and Erika have all said it. We want you back. I have no idea where Penn Gaming is on it. I'm not going to sit around and wait on that. That's great. I love that I'm leaving Barstool with full support. I absolutely love that from the top people, and I cherish those relationships. But, like I said in the video at the waterfall, I got to get on with the damn thing. I'm not going to sit around waiting on that phone call. I'm going to do what I think is best for my career. This is a fascinating crossroads point, though. I mean, I turn 40 next week, too, and this is kind of a spot you really only get once or twice in your life and your career where I'm at. And so that's why I'm trying to be extremely calculated. Anybody that's talking to me, I'm listening to everything. I'm just flattered to have any opportunities. And taking the Poker Go thing is a perfect 6-week bridge while I figure out this next thing. And I mean, I'm looking to get something that starts probably in August before football season for sure. And I'd like to stay in New Orleans, but you never know.
So you're open to listening to anything, huh?
Anything. And look, anybody that comes my way, I'm taking any and all meetings. And I'm, like I said, I feel just lucky to have opportunity.